Hello everyone. In this video I want to show you some more GPTs that you can use in Google Sheets and Google Docs and Google presentations or slides. So if you go to your Google Drive, you see you can click here and say new, and then you can create Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Forms, and more. Okay? And what I want to show you is for the first three, which are the type of documents we use a lot on a daily basis, you can install some GPTs, and GPT, as you know, stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So what are these? So let's say I click on Google Sheet and say create a new document for me. So these GPTs you have to install, okay? They are not readily available. So you go to extensions and you go to add-ons and say get add-on. And then you type in, for instance, here, you say GPT-4. And you see here there is GPT for slide sheets, docs. There is GPT for only sheets and docs, for Gmail, for all sorts of things. And each one of them come with some limited GPTs that make life a little bit easier for you. So let's say, for instance, you say I want it for sheets, slides, and docs, and it brings all sorts of basically free GPTs that you can download. You can see how many of them they have been downloaded and what is the rating for them. I guess I got one of them. Let's say I guess it was this one or this one. No, this one. It was this one. GPT by Qualter, and that one is installed. But any other thing, you just click here and then it asks you to install it. Okay, so I installed that one for these three, and it comes with some functionality. So here, once you have that, now you go to extension, and now you can see that one is added for you, and you can enable the functions of it. Okay, you see these are the functions that it has. They are GPT list, GPT table, and GPT translate. Okay, and just the GPT. There are some functions that you can use, and if you want, you can click here and say start it for me. So it shows you basically the GPTs that you have for sheets, and you see it can generate table for you, it can complete a table for you, it can analyze range data for you, and there are other things that it can do for you. Okay, so here some of the things I did. Here I clicked here, and then instead of typing a number or a formula or equation or anything, I said, hey, get table, and then inside double quotation say give me table for temperature in Phoenix, Arizona in March. And then guess what? It has generated this table for me day by day, and you have the min and the high and the low temperature, right? So let's say here you want to do a similar thing. You say this is equal to GPT, right? And let's say table. Okay, so let's first make sure they're there. Let's start it. Oh, it already did something. If you don't give it anything, it generates a table of 4 or 3 people with their age, gender, and city. But if you want, you can provide more information. Generate GPT, you see that's the format. You give it a prompt, values, temperature, model, cache, and if you want, it can give you and send you feedback and so on, and there are meanings for them. Prompt is the easiest one, and then you can give it value, for instance, how many, right? So here you see an example, top 10 most eaten fruits and their nutrition data. Okay, and then temperature does not have anything to do with physical temperature. Between 0 and 2 is the level of creativity. How creative do you want it to be? If you have a model for it to follow, and then cache is really for advanced users, so don't worry about that. What we really want is a prompt here. So I want to do some prompt here, so I come here, and then inside double quotation, I type in my message. So say what? For instance, a table of let's say month of the year and number of days in them. Okay, so let me go ahead and create that like this, and then once you enter, it starts loading and will generate them for you. Here we go. Month, number of days. January is 31, February, depending on leap year or not, 28, 29, and the rest of it. And then you can basically do more stuff, right? So for instance, you can go and analyze a range data. Say, for instance, you grab this, okay, and then go to analyze data and say, what is the average in the column? And it gives you a formula. It says, hey, you can use the average, but if you want it to do it instead of you inserting a formula, it said, do it for me, or something like that. Hey, you do it for me. I don't want to insert a formula. You do it for me. And it says the average is 30.5 days. Okay, yeah. Now, if you ask it, plot let's say here, grab these like that and say generate a plot of column C versus column B. Would that do it? That's something that I want to tell you. Okay, so here it gives you the thing, says select this, go insert, do a scatter chart, and so on. Do it for me. Let's see if it can do it for you. And then you're not gonna get it. It says, hey, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do direct action in your spreadsheet. I can give you some help, but if you want to generate the plot, I can tell you what to do, but I'm not gonna do it for you. I don't have the authority to mess up with this sheet here. Okay, so do not expect it to do everything for you. It has some limited capabilities, but still can do something. Okay, so that is one, generating the table, or it can generate a list instead. Say, hey, generate, and you can here go to new chat, and if you go to list of formulas, you see it generates cell, list, table, and translate. So say I want to generate a list, right? And here gives you 5 good short ads about the spreadsheet. So here I can say, hey, GPT.list, and then the prompt will be, for instance, a list of top 10 countries in terms of number of tourists visiting each year. Okay, and it gives you a list instead of a table. There we go. So France, Spain, United States, all the way to Thailand. Okay, and here now you might say, hey, GPT list, and then say number of tourists visiting the countries in E column per year. Let's see if it's smart enough to understand that. Yeah, you see it did it for the first 5, not all of them, but clearly it is doing something. Okay, now let's see if I grab this and bring it down, would that do it? Or this one. If I grab it and bring it all the way down to here, would that do it? You see, no. Okay, so you will have some limitations, but it can do some stuff for you. Now let me show you that with translation. So here, typing some words, hi, for instance, how are you, and then let's say I'm fine, and then what time is it? Some simple conversation. And you come here and say this is equal to GPT and then translate of what? You provide the language and then you provide what? The value. So say language is, for instance, German, right? And the cell is this guy here. Okay, I assume that's probably because of, you have to do double quotation for German, but let's find out. Here it gives you an example. Yeah, you see it's double quotation. You cannot do simple quotation. Okay, and it should generate it in German. Hello, yes. And then if you want, just like Excel, you can drag this down and it's gonna apply it to the rest of the cells. Look. So Wiget is innen, for instance, right? You see, Wiget is there, Mirget is good, and then wie spät is es, right? So what time is it? So you can basically translate from any language to any other language as well. This is another thing, and this is a list. You see here, I said, give me the list of 5 cities in Arizona. Here I did translation. Here I did a table. And I also showed you that you can analyze data or you can complete a table too. Okay, so for instance, if a table is missing something, let's say here, I go ahead and get rid of this. Let's see if I can do that. Of course I can't, because I have all the month of the year, so I cannot get rid of that. But let's say I just add some other type of data. For instance, I say like 0, then let's say 0.1 and then 0.2 and so on. Okay, so and then let me grab these 3 and go down to maybe 1. There we go. And then here this is equal to sine of this guy. Apply it. Okay, and then let's say I go down only to here. Now let's say if I give it this incomplete table, can it complete it for me, right? So I go back here and say I want you to basically complete a table for me. So I grab that whole range and say complete the table. Complete this table. Let's see if it can do it for me. Whether it recognizes and can do it for me. Okay. So I want the cells from H17 to H21 to be filled. Seems like it says, hey, complete this. It looks like you want to fill in these values, and then here it gives you some values. If you want to do that, you can simply click on each cell and type in the respected value. Okay, so again, do not expect that to do everything for you, but you can just do some stuff. Okay, so this is about Sheets. Now I want to show you about Word document. Again, if you're installed it on Word document, you can go to extension, go here and start it, and then you get this. It can create text for you, it can improve text for you, and it can add an AI image for you. So here, the first thing I asked it is, I said, give me a paragraph about the impact of AI in higher education. That's all I did. I just asked it to do it for me, and it just did that. You see, it generated this for me. Then what? Then I wrote a couple of lines myself, deliberately with typos and lack of grammar and everything, and asked it to fix it. So here I did artificial intelligence and did not capitalize this I, although here I said AI in capital, and then said going to be used. I did not use is. I said that is going to, so here I have clearly grammar error. In every major soon in higher education, and we cannot stop it. So we better accept the reality, okay, we better accept reality. There you don't need a the, and take advantage of chances, right? Chances is not really an appropriate word. You better say opportunities, and then this should be it provides, not provide. So you see here, I deliberately did that, and then what I did was I just grabbed this whole thing and go to improve text and type it here and enter. Say, hey, give me a better job on this. And it gave me this one. You see here it generated something. And you see here it clearly does not, again, fix that small I, lowercase I to capital. So you see here, but now you see it added is. Instead of used, it used utilized. It added and we cannot stop it. Therefore, you see, instead of so, and instead of accept the reality, it says it is in our best interest, added something, and make the most of opportunities instead of chances it provides. So it fixed all of those, and then I went one level higher and say, hey, go ahead and take care of the acronyms, make sure the acronyms are correct, and use higher level vocabulary. So look here, check the acronyms and use higher level vocabulary. So if you want to beef up the level of your writing, look here, and then it gave me this one. First of all, it fixed this artificial intelligence. As you can see, now you have capital I, and look, is poised to be integrated into every engineering discipline in higher education in near future instead of soon, and we are unable to impede its progress. Thus, it's imperative that we acknowledge this inevitability and capitalize on opportunities it presents. Or here it says, acknowledge this inevitability and capitalize on opportunities it affords us. Okay, and then it says resistance to this advancement is futile. So you can easily beef up the level of writing, right? So you can get it to do it for you here by creating text. Just give it, hey, write me a paragraph about the impact of AI in higher education. And it is going to generate it for you. Okay, you see here, it is doing it. And simply you can click here, copy it, and put it in your documents. Okay, and now if you ask it to add it to your documents, so look here, say add it to page 2. Look, you see, it says, hey, sorry, I'm not going to do that. I cannot do it. Directly manipulate your document. You can copy that and put it wherever you want. Okay, so you saw the same thing with sheets, and you're going to see the same thing with slides. They are not going to come and drag it and drop it onto your document, but give you the material. Okay, and here, finally, I went to create an AI image and say, hey, go ahead and create me an image about that. So I came here and say, look here, create an image about the impact of AI in higher education. And it does that for you. Or it can go to stock images and look up an image for you. It generated this image for me. Interesting, huh? A robot is teaching students. That is quite a bit interesting, but it might happen, who knows. So it can really basically improve, I would say, your Word document. And we saw something about sheets. And as I said, it is trying to make, and it typically makes more than one image for you. So you can select between them. And then, of course, you have the slides. So again, you have to go to extension, go to GPT and start it. Once you start it, now it has some capabilities from generating slides, edit the slides, and again, generating images. Okay, so it has limited capabilities here. You see, there are 3 images here, and you can pick any of them or insert it. So if I want, for instance, this image to be inserted, I come here and then simply click on this image and say insert it. Now this it can do. it can just insert it. You don't need to copy and paste. It's just going to insert it into your document. Okay, so about this here, I said go ahead and make me a slide about an engineering focused channel on YouTube that has a close to 700 videos. I'm gonna do it hopefully soon in the next 2 weeks, and we're gonna reach 700 videos, and then with some advantages, and say advertise a little bit about it, right? Make a slide for it, and it did. And then I clicked on it and say, hey, edit this slide for me, right? So edit the contents of this slide, and then to do a better job in advertisement. Okay, and then it can generate the content for you, which again you can copy and here sometimes it asks you, hey, do you have the right to edit this document? You say yes, and then it is going to start generating. Okay, so here I say I'm not going to edit that, but I can help you draft a better one, and say, okay, go ahead. It's just like you're chatting with a human. Okay, please provide me with the content of the slides. So here you have to basically grab this thing, and then I put it there, and then it tries to change the word to make it the way you want. Okay, or as I said, you can create image and so on. So these are good for productivity, and now we can merge them into Google Sheets, and then you can have something about Gmail too, right? So you saw that about the Gmail also. Basically you can have stuff that there are some GPTs that you can merge, and they can help you make your documents or sheets or presentations better. Hopefully this video was useful to you. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.